All right, so basically, if you don't mess up the fifth mistake,
you cannot go to Canggu or Bingin.
Yeah.
It's big. It's like, you're not gonna.
Thanks, Australian. Welcome to Real Talk. I'm Valeska, your host for everything real estate in the Island of God. In this podcast, we'll have real talks with property experts that will give you all the insights you need. So, whether you're a property pro or just curious about the real estate in Bali, you're in for a ride. Hi guys, welcome back to another episode of our wonderful podcast, Real Talk. I'm sitting here today with Arya and we're going to go over the 5 most common mistakes everyone makes when buying in Bali. Welcome Arya, first time in the podcast.
Yeah, it's my first time. Thank you for welcoming me. Thank you, Valeska and the team.
So we are going through the 5 most common mistakes. A lot of people make some of them, some make all of them. So we want to avoid that. We want to enlighten our audience. So what for you, what's the number one?
So number one mistake that they do normally is if they choose the wrong locations and the wrong design.
Right.
Because everything, when you put yourself, you want to invest in Bali, everything has to be about the locations. That's the real estate rules about locations and design. Because if you are in the wrong locations and the wrong design, I cannot see that the villa will be a best investment for you.
Right, so it will impact like the ROI and the profitability of the villa, right? If they're not choosing the right locations or the right
it will affect everything. It's like a domino effect. Once you failed, it will follow.
Right.
So it's very important that you choose locations and the great design of the villa that you can see people will book. And when you want to purchase, I just want to put in this very first point, never see yourself there.
Right.
See other people or the customers there. Put everything in their shoes. It's not like when you purchase, it's not like, oh, I want to live here. No. What people like is not always like what you like. So you have to remember investment is locations and design.
And what is a great location for investment?
Great location for investment right now, I would say the up and coming area, Bingin, is a great location to invest. And then we go to Canggu. Canggu is always a good place to invest. But again, if you want to have like high occupancy and a great return right now, they should go with Bingin.
Right.
Low inventory in Bingin, but a lot of people want to be there. So the case right now in Bingin, that they will pay whatever amount of the villa offer per night. They're just like, okay, I want to be in Bingin, and they'll pay it. Right. And imagine that, what will you get in 4 to 5 years?
In a great location for daily rentals, what would we have? So why do you say that Bingin and Canggu are great locations? What makes them great?
What made Bingin and Canggu great is what the place can offer. Restaurants, coffee shop, especially how the coffee culture in Bali is very high.
Big.
It's big. It's like, you're not gonna.
Thanks, Australian.
You're not gonna book a villa if there's no coffee shop around.
Right.
Okay, and then gym. Also, fitness culture, health culture in Bali is very, very big, and also has to be close to the beach and good restaurants, and all these 2 places, Bingin and Canggu, they have it.
Right.
So you cannot go to Canggu or Bingin without go to the famous restaurants or cafes. Yeah, everything's like, it's for the gram also.
Yeah.
Just good.
True. What is a great design? What would you say is a great design right now? What's
great
the trend?
Design? I would say Mediterranean and mixed with Japandi kind of design, minimalist, modern, everything that can fit perfectly for anyone that want to be in Bali and want to book the villa in Bali for them to stay for 3 to 4 days or a week or so.
Awesome. So let's go to number 2. What would number 2 mistake?
Okay, the number 2 mistake would be the purpose when you purchase a villa. People sometimes they kind of mix the purpose when they want to invest. There are 2 types, right? You want to purchase a villa as fully as an investment, or 2, when you use like a bit of both. Like you do a rental or you want to live in. It's just very important in the very beginning, the very first stage, you know what you need, not what you want. Everyone wants a villa, of course, but what do they need? Income, a great income. When it comes to that, then you need to know your purpose. If you would like to have a great investment, then you don't have to worry about what you need. Put it away. If that, as long as the villa is in a great location, a great design, just take it, because you will love it in the end when you grab those dollars.
Yes. When you get the income.
When you get a great income, you're gonna forget about it. And of course, when you want to purchase a villa for you to live in, or a bit of both, then it's a different case. But what's important when you purchase, you need to know in the very beginning what's your purpose,
Right.
and why do you want to invest in Bali. Purpose is very important.
Yeah. So don't mix up. If you want solely investment, then it doesn't really matter what you want.
Correct.
And then if obviously you're looking for a villa to relocate your family because you want to move it, then that's a whole other story, because obviously then your preferences matter because you're going to be living in there.
Like I said before, if you don't know your purpose in the beginning, sometimes after a few months of looking for the villa, in the end, you're just like, maybe I shouldn't buy right now.
Yeah.
Then you should know in the very beginning what's the purpose. And of course, we are here to guide them and guide you to get a better understanding about your purpose in investing in Bali.
Then number 3, what is the third mistake?
The third mistake? I would say the third mistakes that people do is buy a villa in the wrong price.
Right.
We are here also always sell a villa in a right price, right market price. The intention is just one, for you to get a great investment. So you can break even in 4 to 5 years. And if you purchase a villa in a wrong price, and going back to square one, wrong locations, it's going to be super challenging for you to have the break even in the good numbers, or a good year, or a great investment.
How do you know that the price of the villa is right, or how to price a villa correctly?
How to price villa correctly? We have our valuation. There's 3 things that you need to know when you want to sell your villa. First is the land value, based on the land size, lease length, and the price of the land in that location based on today's market. And then the building cost. Building cost also divided into 2, which is from medium quality and to the high-end quality, depending again to the design and the quality of the villa, the materials that they choose when they're about to build, and then there will be developer profit. Right. When you sum it up, then that's the right price for a villa that is for sale, or a villa that you need to invest in.
So it should be quite easy to know if a villa is overpriced or not, because it's easily researched, like the land prices and the areas and such.
It's very easy, because like no matter where you build your villa, the building costs would be similar, right? It's just a matter of the location.
All right, and number 4, what is the 4th most common mistake that people make?
Okay, number 4, the 4th common mistake that a lot of people made is you should do your research first before investing in Bali, knowing the place where you're gonna put your money in, and perhaps gonna be your place to live in, in this beautiful islands of God. Yes. That's what I would say. Do the research in the very beginning. Of course, I'm here to guide you, or we are here to guide anyone that wants to invest in Bali, but it will be better if you do the research in the very beginning.
You know that actually Bali is the place that you want to invest in, and you know, it makes a lot of sense to, financially speaking. We have done, comparisons, and we have this amazing tool that we always talk about, AirDNA, and we have done like the comparison between all these areas, right, that are comparable to Bali. So like Tulum and Thailand, and none of them have like as high ROI and as like high and as quick return as Bali. But obviously the financial part is not the only thing to look at. Maybe you're more of a Mexico vibe because you love tacos, so you should, like, it's important to know what Bali has to offer.
Yeah, what Bali has to offer, and Bali has everything.
Bali has everything. Bali has amazing weather.
Yeah, amazing weather. What's changed, I noticed the last since COVID, It's like before Bali, or I experienced it myself, that in tourist industry, there's always like high season and low season, right?
Right.
But I think since the last 2 years, there's always high season in Bali.
Right.
It's like, yeah, I was like, oh,
You
where
can tell by all the people going around.
Where's the low season? It's always busy and packed, which is
Yeah.
good for investor.
Yeah, of course.
Good when
And
you want to invest. Sorry.
I feel like people say like, oh, but there's so much going on, like being built and everything. But there's also so many tourists. But people don't realize how many tourists per day come to Bali and per week. So it's definitely important to do the research and to make sure that
of course. I think it's like just to add it a little bit, and that's because there's two types of people that in Bali. First, tourists, and second is people that live in Bali, like us,
like local expats.
For us, we'll be like, oh my God, there's so many tourists coming in. It's so packed and this and that. Yes, because we live in Bali.
Yes.
Right? We see that every day.
Yeah.
But in terms of investment, that will be great.
Of course.
More tourists, more occupancy or higher occupancy and higher return.
Yep.
Which is good. So there's two ways to look at it.
Exactly. It's not the same for
It's not the same for tourists and for local like us. It's different. Yeah.
All right. And what is the last most common mistake?
The last common mistakes that people did, choosing the wrong agency.
Right.
I would say. Propertia Bali been here for long. We've seen a lot of things happening with clients and everyone's, and we are here to ensure that you have a smooth transaction. We have our in-house legal team that will help you check everything before you move forward with transactions to ensure everything is legally correct until the signing in notary or until the handover of the villa. With me saying this, there's tons of agency.
Yeah, there's like lots of independence. Be careful. Choose an agency that is registered and that it has been there for a long time. It still baffles me every time that I go on sites that say like, oh, I got scammed by this agency, and it's just like, how can people still, it's so easy to do the research and to go with known or like established agency, and you can tell pretty easily that there are so many agencies that are good agencies, great agencies, and are also registered. But there's so many independent agents that try to scam you. So be careful with that. Choose a registered agency. We have, like Arya said, the legal team that just double checks that all the
everything. Like the legal side of everything.
The legal side of everything, which is important, and it also should be included in your research. I would say just make sure to know there's so many different regulations in Indonesia, and just be aware of them.
I heard a lot of stories from my friends or more so my clients.
Yeah, same. So many horror stories.
So many horror stories about it that made them like so afraid to purchase. So what I would say to everyone that they would like to purchase, and if this is their first investment in Bali, you need to do it right. Because if you do it all with wrong agency, it will affect the whole transactions, and you will put in your head like, I'm not going to purchase in Bali anymore.
Yeah.
But if you have the very, very good first experience of transaction in Bali, then you want more.
Yeah.
You want to purchase more.
And it should be smooth. It's not it it should be a hassle, or it's like quite easy. We have so many people buying
abroad
that are not even here, and it's just like our goal is to make the transaction smooth for everyone. And I think that choosing the agency along with the location, it's probably one of the most important things, right? That will affect like your whole, like you said, whole process of
everything's connected.
Yeah, for sure. All right, so basically, if you don't mess up the fifth mistake, then you kind of don't mess up the rest, right? Because if you
Yeah.
choose the right agency, they're going to help you find the purpose of your investment, and then like the location and design according to that purpose, and
Yeah.
then again the price according to location and design. So it's all connected. So the
Yeah, yeah.
most important is like basically choosing the right agency that will guide you throughout the whole process.
Throughout the process till you have the villa.
Yeah. Well, I think that with all these tips to avoid the mistakes, people won't do them. Hopefully
Yeah.
not. Thank you so much, Arya, for enlightening us on
You're welcome.
all those things. And yes, thank you guys for sticking around and watching our video. If you have any other subject, any questions, anything that you want us to cover, leave it in the comment below. And as always, don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you on the next episode.